Mtoto mwizi, the child thief. My grandmother only told me this story once, just after I turned 15. She spoke quietly, as though the walls themselves might be listening. The next day we stayed out in the sandy grasslands. We'd set up a makeshift tent a few kilometers from the outskirts of the village. Under the canvas were a couple of tables, papers strewn everywhere. Matty and I had been the first to arrive, though a few others were expected within the week. What I remember most from those first days was the silence. Heavy, unnatural silence. Matty tried speaking with some of the villagers in Swahili, but they were guarded, tight-lipped. They gave no answers about the land, the animals, or even about themselves. It wasn't until later that Matty told me a hunter had pulled him aside, asked him, strangely, if I was pregnant. When Matty said no, the man seemed relieved, patted him on the back, and simply advised, stay inside after dark. At the time, Matty dismissed it as superstition. If only he'd told me sooner. The first 2 days passed without trouble. Africa was breathtaking then, the sunsets, the vast skies painted in gold and purples, the Milky Way burning so clear above us it felt close enough to touch. But on the third night, the clouds rolled in. There were no torches burning in the village. No light at all. Usually, fires were kept lit to keep lions away. That night, nothing. The darkness was suffocating. We turned in early. Matty fell asleep almost instantly, but something in me stirred. A primal, animal panic. My intuition screamed at me to run, to flee, to do anything but stay. Yet the rational part of me told me not to be foolish. Then I noticed it. The silence. Not peaceful silence, the kind that waits. No crickets, no rustling grass, no wind. Just stillness. I crept to the doorway and leaned out. At first I saw nothing but sudden, blinding flashes of light. My eyes struggled, but slowly I made out the outline of a man. No, not a man. The light was coming from him. Pouring from every part of his body as if his skin could not contain it. And he was dragging something. A child. The little girl I'd seen earlier that day, no older than 3. She sobbed, her small voice breaking the silence. My body moved on instinct, my hand reaching out. But Matty's arms pulled me back. His hand clamped over my mouth. I struggled, whispering that we had to save her, but he only pointed across the huts. The villagers were there. Watching. Standing in the shadows, silent, unmoving. And so we watched too. I saw the thin tire of the girl's whimpers. I saw it reach down, talons sliding into her skull as easily as a knife through fruit. I saw her twitch once, then hang limp. It slung her body over its shoulder and walked on, fading into the dark. And none of us, not me, not Matty, not the villagers, moved. My grandmother's eyes had grown wet by this point. Her hands trembled slightly as she drank from her glass. I think the worst part, she whispered, was knowing they had all seen it before. She told me she begged Matty to take her home. And he did. Before they left, she learned the creature's name. The villagers called it Mtoto mwizi, the child thief. It preferred firstborns, the hunter had told Matty. By the time she returned to Cape Town, she discovered she was 2 months pregnant. Not with my mother. With her sister. That was one of the last stories my grandmother ever told me. I never asked my mother about it. I couldn't. But after my grandmother died, I did. My mother was quiet for a long time before she finally said, I had a sister once. But she was stolen. And then she looked at me in a way I will never forget. Because I had a brother once, too. Apparently, it prefers firstborns. And it is never satisfied.